What's going on, everybody? Terry here, Underground Mafia, in the Groove LLC podcast, episode number 2. What should we talk about today? What's in the news? I feel a little out of the loop, but trying to get back in the loop with this thing. I'm really looking forward to trying to start getting some events going down here, even if it's just day parties, you know. And when I say down here, I mean Florida. I'm just east of Tampa, so in Plant City area. But I would like to do some day parties in either Ybor City or St. Pete, preferably Ybor because it's only like 20 minutes from my house, or St. Pete's like an hour. And I'm really hooked on the day party thing. You know, I think it's going to be a slow start. You know, but I think if I book one headliner a month to start, you know, bring someone down from Detroit or Chicago or New York and do one a month, you know, and then just do me and a couple of friends, you know, and I think I might do it like every other week, not every week to start, but one event a month should be a headliner event. And I'm also not going to do 1 hour sets. I think what I've noticed over the last few years, I've even seen some parties doing 45-minute sets with artists and stuff. And sometimes I feel like at the 45-minute, you're really just starting to get into it and stretch your legs a little bit in your mix. I want to do minimum 2-hour sets, you know. And when I book artists, I'm gonna ask for a 2-hour mix, and I'm gonna start paying attention to that second hour, because I notice in myself, you know, I'm no superstar DJ. I don't consider myself a headlining DJ, but I consider myself a decent DJ. And at about probably about hour and a half, I start getting a little tired up there, and my mixing gets sloppy for the second half. So I'm gonna start paying attention to that, and I'll be requesting 2-hour mixes. I'm also, something I think I did wrong when I moved to San Diego and I started hosting events, is I became friends with everybody, and to make everybody happy, I booked everybody. And I think that, yeah, that's nice and it's all cool and it's good to book your friends and it's good to show love, you know. But I don't think it's professional. You know, I know we all want to be superstars, and you know, but it's hard to tell people that sometimes you're not primetime DJ material, and that's what everybody wants. It's like everybody wants to play, and everybody wants to play after the sun goes down, and or they want to play a sunrise set, and it's like, you know, you can't cater to everybody. I can't. So I'm gonna go with what I know, what I've visually seen with other promoters that I've known over many years, and how they do their things. And I think I'm gonna structure things quite a bit different here in Tampa versus how I did it in San Diego. You know, and I had a lot of fun in San Diego, and Eternal was great. I think it was too big for what it was actually was. I think 1 or 2 stages would have been good enough. We didn't ever always need to do 4 or 5 stages. You know, our attendance for Eternal was usually 1,000, 1,500 people. I don't know. I miss doing the Eternal. I know at 50 years old, I couldn't do it. There's no way I could handle hosting a 3-day camping event. I'm having trouble looking at the camera constantly. I'm not used to seeing myself on the other end here. I'm critiquing myself, and that's funny. It's going to take me some time getting used to being behind this camera. But I also want to be the most genuine as I can be. I don't want to have a script. I don't want to be reading off a piece of paper and like, I want to be myself. I want to be genuine. many of you do know me. I'm hoping to get more viewers and subscribers, and as this thing grows, once I do start hosting events, I want to really show the inside workings of it. I'll talk with the artist before, see if it's okay if I can, film some of the conversations we have, or something like that. Just show what it is, and also with this booking agency I'm working on, I've been sandbagging on it here since January. There for a second I thought I wasn't even gonna give it a shot, and it's a lot of work, and it's gonna be a lot of work, and I thought building just a website and getting the LLC was gonna be hard, and that was the easy part. It's getting artists the gigs, and getting the name and the branding out there. And I think I also need to trademark the Underground Mafia logo, and I need to trademark the In the Groove LLC logo, and then get that going. And I gotta figure out a way to get some income in through In the Groove LLC without hosting events and booking artists. I don't know if I need to make up some merch, or I know the main way to get income in is by getting artist gigs. That's the main way. And I'm gonna get back on that here soon. I'm hoping starting this podcast and vocally putting out there that I want to start doing stuff here in Tampa area will really light a fire under me to get things going. I think a lot of know that once I'm in mode, and the promoter hat is on, the ball is going, it's time to rock and roll. We're gonna book you, we're gonna bring you down, we're gonna have fun, and I think I'm gonna be able to book a lot more people for Chicago, Detroit, New York, being here in Tampa versus being in California. The flights, booking. So when I booked Frankie from New York to San Diego, right? I brought Frankie out 4 or 5 times. Those plane tickets, man, they were anywhere from $600 to $900 round trip, depending on what airline he's flying. And from Tampa to Brooklyn, or Detroit to Tampa, or New York or Chicago, it's usually $200 to $400, and that's doable. It's just, I always wanted to do so much more in California. I couldn't afford to keep. When I booked, Juan Atkins and Terrence Parker and Octave One, those artists cost a lot. And then when you got flights on top, and you got hotels on top, and you got accommodations and meals, that shit fucking adds up real fucking quick. And one of the things I'm trying to do with Underground Mafia Productions here is I've been building my own dance stack. Right now it's 2 18 Cerwin Vegas, old school Cerwin Vegas, the big ones, 2 15s, 2 10-inch mids, and 2 2-inch tweeters. And I got an XTA processor, and I got 4 amps, one for each stack of speakers. And I've been learning. I've been using AI to learn how to program this XTA, and I've been building all my own cabinets. I bought a lot of used stuff on Marketplace and stuff, and refurbishing broken cabinets or refurbishing gear. And I just figure that's another thing I'm going to try to do on the website with In the Groove LLC is not only do I want to offer artists that you could book, but here in Tampa I'll have a small rig that I can rent out along with what DJ gear I have, and also I can also help plan and promote events just like I had in San Diego. I didn't always host the event, but a lot of times I was the brains behind it, with the connections I've had. Fumbling my words here. It's hard to keep this going. This is going to be something different for me, and I pray that you guys are patient with me as I learn this. I think maybe I got a lot to learn. Maybe I got a lot to learn. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm 50 years old. Uh, you know, and if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna do it. I keep putting it off. I keep putting it off. I built this studio to do something in here, and as you see, I still need to paint it and stuff, and there's still some finishing stuff. But the AC's in here, and you know, I put all this together, you know, to build In the Groove LLC, and you know, I had a setback with that. You know, I one of the artists I was working with, I might as well speak on it. I'm not going to say his name, but I put a lot of work in with a promoter out in Toronto to get him booked out there. And I was talking to this promoter, who he said was a promoter. Come find out he's just a DJ, and he lives out there, and he knows the promoters out there. But you know, I put in, you know, what I thought 2.5, 3 months of effort to get him booked out there, and then next thing I know, the dates have been changed, and this has been changed, and that's been changed, and I'm cut out of the loop, and it really set me back. And I was like, man, fuck. I really, you know, I was doing all this in good faith, and I had gotten him another gig in New York, and I really wanted to keep the ball going, you know, and you know, that little 20% is just enough to encourage me to keep going, and I invest it back into the business, and I was like, it set me back, and you know, it made me think about, I just gotta give this shit up, and I'm just over it, and you know, I am fighting a losing battle, and, you know, the gatekeeper is gonna keep me out, and you know, I don't believe in all that gatekeeper shit. Yeah, there's some people up there who created the music, you know. They're not gatekeeping. They fucking own the keys to the fucking house that we play music in. Like, you know, that whole gatekeeping term always weirded me out. But fucking lost my train of thought. I'm probably gonna do that a lot here. I hope you're patient with me. Fuck, what were we talking about? I wish I could just hit rewind right now. I'm smoking too much weed. Well, we've been on here for, I don't know, 12 minutes. How much longer should I make these videos? I know there's only a couple of you guys watching. You know, feel free to ask questions. You know, feel free to tell me what you think I should do different. I don't know. You know, I can just sit here and keep rambling. I just got my computer set up to where I can start live streaming everything. I'm gonna start live streaming a lot of my practice sessions. You know, so not everything you're gonna see me put out there is gonna be fucking amazing. You know, nothing that I've ever put out is fucking flawlessly amazing. I think every mix I stumble somewhere. You know, but I don't do it to be amazing. I play music because I love music. But I just got my computer all set up with OBS. I'm excited about that. Start trying to have some more friends over here. We're gonna start going live a little bit more. I'm gonna put it up on here. I mean, if you look back in the history of this channel 7, 8 years ago, there's probably 10, 15 all vinyl videos, and I'm gonna bring the vinyl. I'm gonna hook the turntables back up in here. I want to get more cameras so I can have more camera views. I think that's gonna be cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I something I've told myself is, you know, turning 50, you know, and I look back at my life and I put, you know, a good 30 some years into the music industry. And do I have much to show for it? I mean, I got some DJ equipment. I got some really cool friends, you know. I got some cool famous friends, you know. That's all cool, but has it ever paid the bills? No. Have I spent lots and lots of money on it? Yeah. But I want to figure out a way to make it profitable and also not greedy at the same time, you know. I want to start bringing back down the price of parties, you know. Like with a lot of artists, you know, none of us were asking for thousands and thousands of dollars to play on my roster. No, we're all flexible. Every artist that's on my roster in the Groove LLC, which is groove-artist.com. You can check out the roster, and you hit me up for any one of those artists, and we will definitely work with you to make something happen. You know, we we love to play music. Let's just say it that way. Well, we're at 15 minutes. I'm gonna end it there. I appreciate you guys for checking me out and sitting through this and listening to me ramble. And you know, if you could give me some ideas to talk about. What do you want to hear about? You know, what kind of stories do you want? You know, it's like I got these things in my head, and then when I hit record, none of them come out. But for the other 23 and a half hours of the day, shit's just coming to me like, oh yeah, I can talk about this, you can talk about that, you can talk about this, you can talk about that. But give me some ideas, you know. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I guess it helps the algorithm, and hopefully more people will start seeing this, and hopefully we'll see some changes back here, get the walls painted, and I got a lot more of these to hang up. I can cover half this room with posters from the past parties, and we could talk about each one and things that happened with each one, what I remember. A lot of times I need to jog my memory. It's kind of weird. And I'm sure that's from the party. A lot of partying. Probably the memory cells are not as sharp. So, but thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a nice day. Keep dancing.